The World Cup starts today, and opening day gives us two Group A matches that could shape the whole group immediately. Mexico against South Africa, and South Korea against Czechia. Mexico are the host nation, playing in front of a huge home crowd, in a fixture that is actually a repeat of the 2010 World Cup opener. South Africa are back at the World Cup for the first time since 2010. South Korea arrive as Asian heavyweights, and Czechia are finally back on the World Cup stage. Today, we're going through the match news, current form, key players, win probabilities, hot stats, and my predictions for both opening day games. So let's get into it. The first spotlight belongs to Group A. The opening match is Mexico versus South Africa. Kickoff is 8 p.m. UK time. Then later, South Korea face Czechia. That match kicks off at 3 a.m. UK time on Friday. So yes, for some of us, the World Cup is already attacking the sleep schedule. Group A has Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. Mexico are favorites to win the group, but South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia all have a realistic chance to make this group very uncomfortable. And opening day matters because one result can change everything. Mexico versus South Africa is not just a normal opening match. For the first time in World Cup history, the opening fixture is a repeat from a previous edition. Back in 2010, South Africa hosted the World Cup, and the opening match was South Africa versus Mexico in Johannesburg. That game ended 1-1. Now, exactly 16 years later, the same fixture opens the World Cup again, but this time it is in Mexico, at the famous Estadio Azteca. That gives this match a proper sense of history. In 2010, South Africa had the emotion of being the host nation. This time, Mexico have that pressure. In an opening match, expectation can become heavy very quickly. Mexico hold an unusual record. They have played more matches at the World Cup than any nation that has never actually won the trophy. So maybe nobody expects Mexico to win the whole tournament, but they are expected to start well. They are favorites to win Group A, and their recent form suggests they are ready. Mexico are unbeaten in their last 7 World Cup opening matches since 1994. That run includes 5 wins and 2 draws. They have also won 6 of their last 8 games overall with 2 draws, so they arrive in strong form. Their defense has also looked solid, 6 clean sheets across that run, and at the other end, they have scored 15 goals. That is exactly the kind of balance you want before a home World Cup. South Africa are making their 4th World Cup appearance, but this is their first World Cup since they hosted the tournament in 2010. Their target is clear: reach the knockout rounds for the first time. But their recent form is not ideal. They come into the tournament with 3 draws and 2 defeats across their last 5 matches. That is a serious drop-off compared with their qualifying campaign, where they topped their group ahead of Nigeria. During qualification, South Africa were defensively strong. They trailed in only 1 of their 10 qualifying matches. That is the version Hugo Broos will want to see again, because against Mexico, in Mexico, they cannot afford chaos. There is also a brilliant story around Hugo Broos himself. He played at the Azteca Stadium for Belgium in the 1986 World Cup. Now, 40 years later, he returns to that same stadium as South Africa's coach, and it gives South Africa's opener a special emotional layer. The head-to-head history is interesting. Mexico won their first 2 matches against South Africa, but they are winless in the last 2 meetings with Bafana Bafana. 1 draw, 1 defeat. And of course, the biggest meeting was that 1-1 draw in the 2010 World Cup opener. That matters because South Africa have already shown they can handle this fixture on a huge stage. Mexico are favorites, but South Africa will not look at this as impossible. Here are the key stats for this match. Mexico are unbeaten in all 7 of their World Cup matches at Estadio Azteca. 5 wins, 2 draws. That is a serious home World Cup record. Mexico have also led at halftime in 5 of their last 6 games, so they have been starting matches strongly. For South Africa, none of their 9 World Cup matches have ended goalless. So when South Africa are involved at a World Cup, something usually happens. And 5 of South Africa's last 6 fixtures saw both teams score. That points to a match where Mexico may win, but South Africa could still find a way onto the score sheet. This is why I do not see this as a boring opener. There is too much history, too much pressure, and too many storylines. For Mexico, one player to watch is Johan Vazquez. He has been in excellent recent goal-scoring form for a defender, scoring 3 goals across his last 3 games for club and country. He has also opened the scoring twice for Mexico. That is important because in an opener like this, set pieces and defenders can be huge. If Mexico are nervous in open play, a set-piece goal could change everything. For South Africa, watch Oswin Apolis. He was directly involved in 6 goals during World Cup qualifying. 2 goals, 4 assists. That was twice as many direct goal contributions as any other South African player in qualifying. If South Africa are going to hurt Mexico, he could be one of the key players. The good news for both teams is that they appeared to come through their final warm-up friendlies without new injury concerns. So as of now, both teams should be close to full strength. The win probability graphic gives Mexico a clear edge. Mexico, 65%. South Africa, 14%. That tells the story. Mexico are strong favorites. But football does not care about graphics once the whistle goes. South Africa's job is to survive the opening wave, frustrate Mexico, and make the stadium nervous. My prediction? Mexico 2, South Africa 1. I think Mexico win, but I do not think it will be comfortable. Mexico start the tournament with 3 points. South Africa score and make it interesting. And Group A begins with proper drama. Now let's move to the second Group A match, South Korea versus Czechia. This game might not get the same global attention as Mexico versus South Africa, but it could be just as important for the group. The long-awaited return of Czechia to the World Cup begins against one of Asia's strongest football nations. South Korea are appearing at their 12th World Cup finals. They are also the first Asian nation to reach 12 separate World Cups, and this is their 11th consecutive World Cup appearance. They came through AFC qualification unbeaten across 2 rounds, 11 wins, 5 draws, no defeats. That is impressive. Now the challenge is turning qualification dominance into tournament impact, because South Korea have had some disappointing World Cup campaigns since that incredible 4th-place finish in 2002. Their manager, Heung-min knows that history better than anyone. He captained South Korea in 2002. He later managed them in 2014. And now, he has another chance to lead them on the biggest stage. For Czechia, this is a long-awaited return. As an independent nation, this is only their 2nd World Cup appearance after 2006. And their route to 2026 was anything but smooth. Tomáš Souček was stripped of the captaincy after controversy around not thanking supporters following a win over Gibraltar. Then Ivan Hašek was sacked after a defeat to the Faroe Islands. That left Miroslav Kubek to take over and guide them through the playoffs. And he did it the hard way. Penalty shootout wins against Republic of Ireland and Denmark in Prague sent Czechia to the World Cup. So this is a team that has already been through pressure. They are not arriving with a perfect story. They are arriving with scars. But that can make them dangerous, because teams that qualify the hard way often carry a different kind of belief. Czechia will know they are not the favorites in this group, but they will also know they are difficult to play against. This will be the first competitive meeting between South Korea and Czechia. Their last meeting was a friendly in 2016. South Korea won that match 2-1, but a World Cup match is completely different. This is not a friendly. This is opening day pressure. This is Group A survival. And if Mexico are expected to top the group, then South Korea versus Czechia could become a direct fight for one of the other qualification spots. That is why this match matters so much. Win it and your tournament opens perfectly. Lose it and the pressure arrives immediately. Here are the key stats. 14 of South Korea's last 15 games saw only the winning team score. That suggests when South Korea matches have a winner, one team often controls the scoring. Also, 12 of South Korea's last 13 World Cup goals were scored in the second half. So if this match is tight at halftime, do not panic. South Korea often find their World Cup goals after the break. For Czechia, each of their last 5 games produced over 2.5 goals. So their recent matches have not been quiet. And this is a big one. Czechia scored more set-piece goals than any other side during European qualifying for this tournament. 11 set-piece goals. That is a major weapon. In a tight opening game, set pieces can decide everything. Corners, free kicks, second balls, one defensive lapse. That could be the difference. For South Korea, the obvious key player is Son Heung-min. He was their top scorer in qualifying with 10 goals, and he has proven leadership on the big stage, including captaining Tottenham during their Europa League winning run in 2024-2025. For South Korea, Son is not just a goal scorer. He is the emotional leader. If Korea are going to start strong, he will probably be involved. For Czechia, the key player is Patrik Schick. He was their top scorer in qualifying with 5 goals, and he has a strong major tournament record, with 6 goals in 7 major international tournament appearances. That matters, because Schick is the kind of striker who does not need 10 chances. Give him one good moment, and Czechia can change the game. On team news, South Korea are reportedly sweating over the fitness of Taesok Lee and Junho Bae. Czechia appear to have a clean bill of health across their 26-man squad. That could matter late in the game if this becomes physical. The win probability graphic makes this one look much tighter than the opener. South Korea, 42%. Czechia, 31%. So South Korea are slight favorites, but Czechia are very much alive. This feels like the kind of match that could be cagey early. Both teams know losing the opener would be dangerous. South Korea have pace and experience. Czechia have structure and set-piece threat. So my prediction is South Korea 1, Czechia 1. I think Korea may have more energy and attacking quality, but Czechia will make this difficult, and if they get set pieces, they can hurt Korea. A draw would not be disastrous for either side, but it would make the next Group A matches extremely important. So here is how I see opening day going. Mexico beat South Africa 2-1. South Korea and Czechia draw 1-1. That would put Mexico top of Group A after the first round of matches. South Korea and Czechia would both have 1 point. South Africa would be bottom, but still very much alive. And that would make the second round of Group A matches massive. Mexico would have momentum. South Africa would need a result. Korea and Czechia would still be fighting for control. This is why Group A could get chaotic quickly. It looks simple on paper. Mexico favorites, everyone else fighting behind them. But World Cups rarely stay simple for long. So those are my opening day predictions. Now I want your predictions. Who wins the opener? Who wins Group A? And which country are you supporting at World Cup 2026? Comment below. And if you want daily World Cup match previews, team news, predictions, reactions, and football stories throughout the tournament, subscribe to Ali Pro Library and turn on notifications. The World Cup starts today. Let's go.